Imagine this, you've travelled thousands of miles, stayed up all night in freezing temperature, staring at the sky, and nothing. Or worse, you see just the faintest glow of green that barely makes it worth the trip. The Northern Lights, one of nature's most breathtaking displays, but if you're here hoping for the sky to light up in vivid greens and purples, you might be in for a long, cold wait. So why are the Northern Lights so hard to see, and what exactly causes them? Well, the answer might surprise you. First, let's talk about what they actually are. The Northern Lights, or Aurora borealis, are caused by charged particles from the sun interacting with Earth's magnetic field. These particles are blasted into space during something called a solar wind. When they hit Earth, the magnetic fields funnel them towards the poles, where they collide with gases in our atmosphere, mainly oxygen and nitrogen, and that's what creates those glowing lights. The colours? That depends on which gases they collide with. Oxygen usually produces green or red light, while nitrogen can give off purple or blue. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, here's where things get tricky. Just because those particles are hitting the atmosphere doesn't mean you'll actually see anything. A lot of factors need to line up perfectly. The first challenge is location. The closer you are to the poles, like here in northern Norway, the better your chances. But even then, you can go days without seeing anything. That's because the lights aren't always active. It all depends on the strength of the solar wind, which fluctuates. If it's weak, you might just get a faint glow on the horizon. Then there's weather. You might have perfect solar conditions, but if the sky is cloudy, it's game over. Clear skies are your best shot, but in places like this, that's not something you can count on. Let's say you've got everything working in your favour. You're in the right spot, it's a clear night, and solar activity is high. Even then, the aurora can be unpredictable. Sometimes it's a vivid, dramatic display. Other times, it's just a barely noticeable shimmer, so you might end up waiting for hours and still not see much of anything. But when you do catch the Northern Lights, at their best, it's completely worth it. These displays can stretch across the entire sky and last for minutes, sometimes hours. And the best part, no two aurora are the same. They're always shifting and changing, and that's what makes them so magical and so frustrating to predict. Now, here's something you might not expect. Sometimes the aurora is easier to see through your phone or camera than your own eyes. Here's why. Our eyes aren't great at seeing colour in the dark. When it's nighttime, your vision switches to black and white mode, technically called scotopic vision. That's why the faint greens and purples of a weak aurora might not show up well to you, but cameras, they don't have that problem. They can pick up more light and detail, especially if you're using night modes or long exposure settings. Most modern smartphones and professional cameras can amplify light far beyond what our eyes can see. So you might be standing there, staring at a sky that looks pretty dull, but then you look at your phone and suddenly it's glowing. It's not that the aurora wasn't there, it's just harder for your eyes to detect. So if you're ever in doubt, grab your phone or camera and see if you can capture what's really happening up there. The technology can actually help you see what your eyes can't. So why are the Northern Lights so hard to see? It's a mix of timing, location, weather, and honestly, a little bit of luck. Even with all the right conditions, they're unpredictable. The best advice? Give yourself as many nights as possible if you're chasing the aurora. The longer you stay, the better your chances. And if you're lucky enough to witness the Northern Lights, it's an experience you'll never forget. It's a reminder that even with all our technology and forecasts, nature still has the final word, and sometimes it can be surprising. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos about nature, science, and the unexpected, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.